Hello everyone, this is Maria from mariascraftingcorner.com. I'm so glad you're joining me today. We're working today in project 3 for our April's Paper Pumpkin Kit alternatives. Yes, that's a little complicated for me to pronounce, so I really have to focus on saying it correctly. And if you don't know what Paper Pumpkin Kits are, they are a monthly subscription by Stampin'Up. And you will get in a little box everything you need for to create the projects included. It's a really good way to increase your growing collection of stamps, as well of ink. It brings in what we call an ink spot. Let me show you. And that way you can collect more colors too. Just a really, really cool subscription, I have to say. It brings cards or paper crafts, it kind of depends. These months are cards, actually fun folds, which I love. And I think it's a great way to play with kids. If you like a lot stamping and crafting and you want to get your kids involved in something that they will be really successful at, it will be getting a kit like this. Okay, really cool. Again, now if you don't know, I am a Stampin' Up demonstrator, and so if you would like a catalog, please let me know and I will gladly send you a free catalog. Just let me know. Send me an email to maria@mariascraftingcorner.com and I will send you a free copy. And let's go to this crafting table. Okay, here we are. And this is, I just wanted to show you the 3 cards that are included. Like I said, they're fun folds. I know I've shown them in previous videos. If you have not seen my previous videos, I will link them up here and I will link them below as well. But let me show you, they're very, very cute options. This is alternative 1 and is what we call a triple step card. And this was the first one I did, which is like this way. And you open it up and it's a pop-up box. It's a little, but there you go. There we go. It's a little, there we go. Okay, so these are the 2 options that I created in the previous videos. So we're going to work today with what is called a center step card. And let me move some of the stuff here. Let me bring my trimmer. I have said several times, I try very hard to just use what it's in the kit. The only extra things I will bring are my trimmer, my bone folder, because we're going to need that. Most likely I'll be using the Stampin' Seal Plus or glue. The kit brings dimensionals. This specific kit brings dimensionals. I will not be using dimensionals, I don't think. I have not gone through all of it in my brain of what I'm going to do, but I have my own older dimensionals. I actually kind of collect the dimensionals. These are the ones that the kit brought. Let me see. The only other thing I'm going to use is a black cardstock, and I have some white cardstock in pieces not already cut. They are just there, and they're my scraps, and we'll be using that. To demonstrate the card, I'm going to use this bright yellow, and I'm going to do that because it's much easier. Oops, sorry. I don't know why I turned it red. It's much easier to see this ruler when you use a lighter color. Black makes it very, very complicated. Okay, so this is a regular cardstock. It's 8.5 by 11. We are going to cut these at 4 1/4. And if you see, I have my cheat marks here, right? I know it's 4 1/4. Okay, and we're going to cut that. And now we are going to go to the 1 inch mark right there, and we're going to move our cutting blade here, and we're going to mark to 6. We're going to cut from 1 to 6.5. Okay, there's 1, and we're going to turn it around to the other side and do the exact same thing at the 1 inch mark from 1 to 6.5. Okay, Now we're going to score. Locating ourselves here in the area where we just got at that inch mark, we're going to go to the inch mark again, and we're going to score. And we're going to score from the top to the first cut, and from the bottom to the cut. And now we're going to move to 2, and we're going to score there from the bottom to the cut and from the top to the other cut. We're going to move now to 5.5, and we're just going to score between the cuts, okay? And this is where this trimmer is so wonderful, because you can tell here it has a little line, and you can cut, and you know more or less where that cut is, right? So it makes it easier for scoring or for cutting. And we're going to open these because we're going to move now to 6.5, and we're going to do the, oops, I almost cut it, people. And we're going to cut here from the bottom edge to the cut and from the top edge to the cut. Now, it's funny that this happened this way, because I would love to show you. Sometimes I always say, don't go far when you're cutting, because the reality is if you don't go far enough, then for sure you know that you can use your scissors to cut, and that's what happened here. I don't know if you can see it, but I missed my 6.5. It's like, oh, but I can use my scissors to just cut it real quick. And what we're going to do is we're going to fold mountain. This is what we call mountain if you're near two cards, and this is going to go valley. And if you put it, oops, if you put it this way, you see why it's called mountain valley. Okay, the 5-inch mark is also mountain, and same as these two are mountain. And then you have your fold. Isn't it cool? We're going to use our bone folder to just make those folds we just created real crisp. So this is our card. And again, this is just a template I'm making real quick because it's much easier to explain with a card. I have mine already cut and folded, so we have it ready. Okay, so we're going to bring our trimmer back again. We're going to cut at 2 and, let me see, 2 1/8 here. Okay, and as you can tell, I'm going to make just a bigger cut. And then we're going to cut these at 4 3/8. Okay, so 4 3/8 is right there. And I already have our moon cut to fit the panel. What I did was cutting to, let me bring the other card. So cut this one in half and then just calculate to include the moon. These measures 2 by 4 1/4. Okay, and let me think. Yeah, it's already cut too. So this is 4 1/4. Okay, so just be mindful to include that too within the moon, because again, what I want is to pair this up here. So I'm going to pop this star, and we have another star here that I am also going to pop. So just to create some interest in here. We have our first panel. I'm going to put it right there. We're going to glue them here in a second. Our second, now we're going to work with these 2 panels. And those panels are 4 1/4. So I'm just going to 4 1/4. I don't know what I'm saying, going all the way there. So they're 4 1/4. And they are 7/8. So actually, let's do this way. So 7/8 is the first one. I'm going to cut this one And the second one, again, 7/8. Okay, now we are going to have these cut at 4¼ and just making sure because it's just a tiny bit here. Again, these are just paper scraps I have. And 4¼ okay. Now we're going to work together in creating these two side panels, which are going to be 3/4. So right here, and that's one of the reasons I love this trimmer, is because it extends all the way there for till 1.5 inches. But it's easier when you have smaller pieces to be able to hold, right? And if you can hold, like I am not being able here, I just leave it there and will use my blade from here up, just making sure that it's in. I was going to make a mistake. That's the 3/4 mark. We go 1, okay, and I think this is going to be almost 3/4. It's almost 3/4, so I'm just trying. Again, if you go from the bottom up, because it has this little ledge here, it will hold the paper in place and it will make it much easier to cut. So we're going to just pop some of those stars. There's 1, there's 2, and oops, let me remove this little piece out. Let's see, here's another one. And so we have our panels ready. Okay, isn't this super cute? So let's glue them in here. And I always like to use our Stampin' Seal Plus because this has so many different stars and little holes all around. I'm just being mindful of that. So we're going to do this one first. Let's put this straight and get it there very carefully. Hopefully it's much more or less calculated. And we're going to put this one in here. Okay, now this is much easier when you you don't have all these little holes. Easiest way is to extend your card and go for it this way. So much easier. Okay, so we have our first panel. Now let's work on the little panels. And same as I did before, I'm just going to put a little bit there, a little bit here, and a little bit there, avoiding the stars. And this is a little bit easier in the sense of that you don't have to be mindful of the pattern of the paper, because obviously the stars are going to be wherever. So there's not up or down, but it's always good to remind you to, uh-oh, this seems to be longer. I guess I didn't cut this. So we're bringing this up. I think I didn't cut them right. Well, that happens. So it looks like we need about 1/4 of an inch. So here's my 1/4. And yes, I'm going to try to do this like so, because in the end, you know what? It's going to be complicated there. So I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to, where's my pen? I have a pencil here. Let's do it this way. And we're going to have to cut it by hand, which is a risk in my case because it's already glued here. I never do anything straight. Cutting is just a thing of, and okay, thankfully we noticed that here. So I'm just going to cut a smidge there. And it really doesn't matter, and I'll tell you why it doesn't matter. Because this is going to go here. So if, as you can tell, there's a little bit of leftover here. But we're barely going to see it because this is covered by this piece, right? You see what I'm saying? So again, this is 3 1/4 3/4, and we have to cut this to 4 1/8. Okay, let's move these. There you go, 4 1/8. And now we'll place it in here, make sure that it fits, and it does. Good. So we're going to glue this just like I did before. I'm just putting some Stampin' Seal Plus in different places. And we'll go ahead and put this one here. And there you go. So we have the two panels, and now we're going to glue them up here. Okay, so let's bring our silicone craft sheet. It helps with when for some odd reason it's fighting. Oh, you know what I am seeing? I think that, ooh, I almost made a mistake. You guys saw that? You caught it? Okay. And this is the one that we made a mistake with, right? So we're going to go there and just calculate the upper part, right? Because in the end, we won't be able to see much of that difference there. And there it goes. Because once it's standing, you will not be able to see it. You see what I'm saying? Good. We're ready with that piece. What I'm trying to say is, instead of using white and black, we're going to use these as the matte and then the white, so we can put our sentiment there, if that makes sense. So this piece is going to be 7/8 again, and I'm just going to go ahead and cut it off by 4 1/8. Where are you? 4 1/8 is there. This one will go here, just making sure it fits. It does. And the white piece is going to be 3/4. So let me get that. 3/4. That's 7/8. 3/4 is right there. By 4. So just 1/8 smaller. Okay. We got it. Whoops, sorry about that. And we're going to stamp now, because it's always much better to stamp ahead of time. And I love this one that says every day is a new day, but I don't think it's going to be able to fit. So I'm going to grab both of them and see which one will fit better. See, it barely fits. I can see the Y here, so that's sad, because I really like that one. Very appropriate. But there's this one that says, I am so proud of you, of who you've become. And I really love that one. So we're going to use that one. And like I said, we're going to only use what is here. So I really like, let me put this back in here. I really like this. I'm actually going to do this. I'm going to use another of our, just a smaller block. This seems too bulky. I really like this because in this mellow mambo color, it's going to really pop in that white and black. Okay, I'm just going to do this, make sure everything is okay. Something seemed odd. I'm going to try again. Ah, there it is. Okay, perfect. So I'm going to put it in one side instead of centered, since the moon is centered. We got that. Let's put that out there and glue this or attach this. Okay. Oh no, it looks like it died. Okay, I'm not going to change it in here, so I'm going to just use our tear and tape. Really, really good adhesive too, by the way. I love it. I just don't use it regularly because it happens to be that it's much slower because you have to take the backing off than the Stampin' Seal Plus. But in general, you know, I use the tear and tape a whole lot more than the Stampin' Seal Plus. And so we're going to center it and glue it. And because this is not black, we're going to put this one here. And I think it just makes a good contrast. I don't know if you can tell. Obviously you can't tell. It's like washed white, washed black. And so even if it's black on black, you can still see the difference because it's washed. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. I think today is not my day, people. I shouldn't be making this video today. Definitely, I don't know what I am doing. Okay. So we're going to put this one here. Again, center it. And there it goes. You know what? It's not. I don't think it's centered enough. Let's open it. It's much easier when you open it. There you go. Yeah, you're able to see much better. Okay, now the kit brings, and I have them here, brings a couple of clouds. And so I want to put one sort of in there. And you see, I said I was not going to use dimensionals, and I'm going to. We're going to pop that cloud. And we're going to use, again, I told you guys I don't waste anything. We're going to use this one here. I'm going to, you know what, that's too big. Like, okay, cut it a little bit here. So one there and one here. So I want this one here with the white. And you know what? I want another one that I'm going to put up here. And actually, let me see. Oops, let's use this one here because it's bigger. And this one in here. Okay, I know, it's been a little of a rocky video. I'm not sure why it's happening, but definitely today not my day. So I want to put it in here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the leftover stars. Let's see, this one doesn't have any. I have a few here. You see these black stars? Again, not wasting anything in here. And we're going to use them as decorations. So one there. We're going to put another one down here. And if you don't have one of these, you absolutely need them. And probably one, where do I want it? There. That's a small, just such a small, there it goes. I think that looks fun. Let me grab another one actually. This one has another bigger one. Where would I put it? I think I want it like in here. Would it be too many stars? When is this? No, it would not be too many stars. The reality is the sky is full of stars every night. Okay, I see, now I really like it. So we have some continuity, stars all over. And if you have some Stella Wink or Wink of Stella, I always mispronounce it, you could probably put some of it in the clouds or in the stars and just make it twinkle. That would be a nice touch. But I'm not doing that because, like I said, I want to stick to what we have. So that is our card in the front. How are we going to decorate inside of the card. And so for the inside of the card, I'm looking for my little piece. We're going to use the sun. And we're going to have to really center this, and we're going to use white. So we know this is, right, 5.5. So 5.5, 4.25. And we know the score is 1.5, right? So we know that we'll need, this is 4, I'm thinking. You know what? I am thinking we could do just panels. Maybe it's too small for panels, but we'll probably put these panels in here. Wouldn't that be fun? And this one in the middle, if it's possible. We'll do that. Okay, so we need 4. I think we're going to cut this for a little bit of white. That would be 4 by 4.25. So let's see, 4. And I think I just made a mistake because this is not, oh yeah, this is 4.25. Whew. Okay, 4 by 4.25, which means that these needs to be 3 7/8 by 4 1/8. Okay, so we need to calculate the sun. Let's see if we said this is, I'm thinking, people, I'm thinking. 4. So if I take 1 inch of each side, how much is this? This measures 5.5. So if I take 3/4 on each side, I think. Let's cross our fingers. Let's cross our fingers. 3/4. Okay, so what I did is I took 3/4 from each side, because the whole sheet is 5.5, and we know this is 4.25. This one is 4. Oops. Let's see. Oh, it looks like I need to cut a little bit more, so we'll cut 1/8. And now we'll have to cut so I would cut like a tiny bit on one side, and that will do. Yes, that's, and a tiny bit up here. There we go. Now we have the right measurements. Let's use our tear and tape, our magic wand. I have not talked about our magic wand today. I love it. Super useful tool for everything and anything. And then let's make sure. I'm about to say let's make sure it all fits, and then it gets stuck. There we go. So this is 1/8 smaller, so we calculate 1/8, and then we'll glue it up here. And when I say glue, I really mean let's use our tear and tape. I usually don't use glue because glue takes a little bit time to dry. Okay, we got one, and there's the other one, and that's why I don't like using the tear and tape in videos, because it just takes so much longer. And we are going to use these below to calculate, to make sure that it's evenly centered. And there we go. Now, the kit brings, and I'm looking to see if I have not used them, the kit brings one that I would love to use here, but I'm not sure if I'll be able to. So what I want to do is I'm going to create a white panel in here. So it is the exact same white panel. Oh, I think it's a little longer. It's a little longer, yes. So I think this should be 5.5 by 2. So let's try 5. Let's try 5 by 2. And I just want to use that so we can put here, right here, right? So you can write on this area. And actually, I think I'm going to use glue just to speed up the process a little bit. And that's not what I intended, but we can absolutely use our fingers. Okay. Let's put the glue up there. So we are putting this white panel here so we have a place to write. And there it goes. And now we still have these 2 panels here that we can decorate because we still have some clouds. And they fit fairly well. What do you guys think? I think that will leave like a nice touch. So again, we're going to use the glue. And the glue. And not backwards. Let's use it the right way. And it's centered. And I'm not matting them in white. There you go. Now, if you have, actually, I just thought of something, but let me see if I still have some clouds. I have a cloud, and I am just thinking I want to use this cloud here. It's just the same cloud backwards, right? Just to have some popping in here. Let's use our dimensionals. And I really appreciate you guys staying with me and working with me, even if I don't know what I'm saying. It looks like today's been a tough day. I just can't believe how many mistakes I've made in the same video. But it is crafting and it happens. Oops. So we're going to put it up here a little bit. No, I want it here. And there you go. And we can actually even put something. You remember that one I am going to put the stamp in here, actually. It works really well. Every day is a new day. Now I'm going to go for it, people. I know I said don't make the mistake of stamping when you're already, but we are going to go for it. Ha! Good luck. That was good luck. Okay, let's move these out of the way. And so here we have our card. Isn't it super cute? Wonderful idea. Just to extend the, just to change your paper pumpkin kit a little bit. Spice it up. It will stand. I love the colors, like the whites and blacks and that melon mambo. And I love the popping here too. And there you go. I hope you like today's video. Please give it a thumbs up if you like it. You know how much that helps us in YouTube. Also subscribe to the channel if you're interested, and hit that notification bell if you would like to know when I'm going live or when I am uploading a new video. Thank you.